Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 10th of July 1979. And in this part, what I want to do is focus on building up our two new towns in the north. Also, I really need to start thinking seriously about getting an electronics industry up and running, because if I show you my economy, we are making a reasonable profit. Especially if I go back to last month, we made 1.2 million. But the problem is my costs with respect to electronics is starting to build now. You can see here last month I imported 29 tons of electronics and it cost me, well, 913,000 rubles. So that is an expense that will spiral out of control, and it's something we do need to fix. Looks like I've got a problem with a train, but we'll look at that in a little while. Now, before we get started, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me a lot to think about. And I did get a comment asking whether this series will continue past the release of the waste update. And the answer is no. Simply because the waste update is so big and so fundamental to the game, it's going to be virtually impossible to actually implement it within such a big map. And to give you an example, based on some of the knowledge that I've started to get, is if I show you the sewage tank here, you see now to give you an example, is waste collection will work similar in the same way as sewage will work. That means we'll have technical offices over here which will have extra attributes towards waste collection and different types of waste collection. Now, if any of you are familiar with the game, is that you can actually technically build up a town and not put any sewage infrastructure in whatsoever, and the trucks will come and collect the sewage as it builds up in the various buildings. But the problem is that you very quickly overwhelm the technical office. So what you have to do is put in these buildings here, sewage septic tanks. Now, waste is going to work in a similar way, in the fact that if you've got a small town, you can run around with a truck collecting from individual buildings. But what you've got to do is put in waste collection points. Now, I've been told that the range of a waste collection site will be about 160 meters, which if I show you here, it would, if I put it, well, to even cover this small corner of the map here, we'd need two. We'd probably need one to cover this bit, and then another one to cover this part of the building. So what that will mean is to integrate waste collection into this map, we'd have to build waste collection sites in various parts of around buildings. It will also cover industry. We're not going to escape from that point of view. That means I'm going to have to try and squeeze a fairly complex collection structure in here. And then what we'll have to do then is set up the waste processing. And that is going to make life, that's going to be very difficult. I mean, it's going to be difficult on this map, but if I come down to, say, here, you can see there's very little space here. And just to give you an example, if I put this in here, I probably would have to put in 3 waste collection sites. And that's the reason why I won't be continuing this series past the and what I will say, and that's the reason why I won't be continuing this series past the full release of this update. Now, while the update is in the beta test branch, I will carry on with this series, but the number of parts per week will probably drop to about 2. The reason for that is that I'll be interlacing videos about the new update and some testing. What I might do with this map is a little bit of destructive testing, but I will take a safe copy to do that. And by destructive testing, I'm going to be quite interested is just to switch waste on and see how quickly it builds up and what the consequences are. And I may then possibly put in auto build, and what I may do is auto build a couple of collection sites just to see how fast, say, a city this big would actually create waste and how quickly it would build up and the resources you would need to remove it. But I don't want to get into too much detail with that because, well, I don't know enough yet at the moment, because most of my knowledge about the new update at the moment is very top level. So let's just get down. Now, as we come here, I'm just going to give you an update of some of the cableway that I put in. We are working on this building. I think we're going to bump the priority on this because I'd like to have this all finished by the the winter. Get that in there, and I think what I might do is a bit longy rangy type thing, but I don't think this guy's exactly busy. No, he's got absolutely nothing to do. So what we'll do is we'll call him in as a reserve. He's got tower cranes, which would make a difference, and he's got other equipment which could be useful. We get that connected. Hopefully it will connect up. The next thing I want to show you is our oil field here, but I do want to make a change on this tanker. I'm going to remove you, and we're going to remove that. I've kind of realised that I don't have enough slots here to put a ship waiting to unload here. So what I'd rather have is this tanker just delivering the oil south. Now the oil field here is completely online now. I think they're all connected and they're saying waiting to export oil. And of course what we've got here is two lovely oil tanks full of oil. And so what's going to happen is this is going to be effectively locked until such time as I get this area sorted out. Now generally in this area everything is good, but I suppose what I better do is see if I can find that. I'm waiting too long. Where are you? Looks like these got, oh, we've got a head-on collision. Why have I got 3 trains up here? Cancel that. End construction. That should, looks like these guys probably could benefit from a few signals as well, because they're working into the same area. So if I put you there, yeah, and put that there, that should release the 2 trains. Once he gets past there, in fact, we could probably put a couple of signals in just under there. What that will do is get this guy going there, and I'm gonna say I've got no idea why I got 3 trains working in that area, because 1 train was meant to be over here. I need a job going into this area, because well, what do we need? Well, we need this built here into there. Actually, come to think of it, I might need to put a couple of signals here, because the signals there, it's the train coming up in this direction is getting pretty close now. I think, yeah, he's here. So we are slowly approaching the point where we could get a north-south connection. But the interesting thing is going to be is the power situation and whether how well that is actually going to work. This area here, oh, one thing I do want to do is get the road ordinary crew working on that, because we need to get this road bridge open as well. Not that we're going to be able to send vehicles from that distance. So this area here is the low priority area, but come through here. Generally this area is pretty well built up. The farm that I put in is, well, wow, it's already started harvesting. Of course, it's 19th of July now, isn't it? So we've actually got that in there, and what we've got here is some new combines. We've got the E512s, which are pretty efficient. See, they actually move quite quickly. Now, one thing I did realise here is, one, I didn't have a gas station, and more importantly, I realised that these trucks here that will move the grain from here over to where is it, over there in the short term, didn't have a direct route. So what I've done is I put a road through to here, so that these will have a connection so they can actually move the grain over to here. But of course eventually what will happen is that we will be using the railway, and it's this connection's probably going to be the one of the priority connections. So we need to get this bit done, this bit done. We need to get it electrified out past the distribution office here, because we need the distribution office and we certainly need to get all this finished inside and electrified. And so we need to get up to there and pass this section here. So we're probably going to need to build and get across over there. Now, one thing I do want to do here is put in a station that we can deliver the goods. And the idea will be is that our main distribution hub for clothes, food, and electronics will be here until such time as we actually start to well, produce our own electronics. So that's going to make, hopefully that makes sense. Generally, the town up here is coming together quite quickly. We've got the only thing I haven't really put in is power, and we're still working on the water connections. We've got some residences, but there's no point in anyone moving in. We have got the beginning of food, electronics, and meat in here ready to go. And we've got our sewage processing. And the first thing I want to do here is we've got the railway coming up here. And I want the delivery warehouse here, because this warehouse will serve three purposes, really. We'll bring the food, clothes, and electronics up to here. And then what will happen is we'll put a distribution office here, and that will supply the clothes, food, and electronics to here, here, and here. So this needs to be a little bit of a distribution site. And what I've done is I've been looking at this road, and I think it's a little bit annoying. So we're going to kind of trim that back a little bit, because what I'd like to do is get the station in about here. I know I was going to put a sewage plant next to it, but maybe we could squeeze it in here next to this road here. But actually, if we put it in, say, about there, slightly angled, because what I would want to do is, well, we're going to put a meat locker in. Now, the meat locker, meat storage, just go in like that as a self-contained unit. Put you in about like that. And then what we're going to need is a warehouse. I don't think we're going to need a major warehouse, but the problem with the bulk warehouse is this, that we'd have to put this in like that, parallel, and then we put it there, and then the problem's going to be is getting the cargo station in so we can pick up stuff. You can see that this is the reason why I moved the road. In fact, I'm going to bring it back even further. That time, bring it all the way back so that we can fit this in. And then we'll put in the cargo station. We could probably just push it up a little bit like that. Then what we'll do is, we don't need a dual carriageway here. So if we, actually what I could do, I think I've really experimented with this and put kind of a Y junction like that. Because there is an argument to be made that if you angle off roads like this, it keeps up the speed of the vehicles. Put you in there. That should get picked up. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do is bring the railway up from here. Now, obviously, this railway's got a lot more to do than just service that area there. And that end, what I want to do is kind of curve it around. Actually, you just see we've got a bit of a hill here, which could be a problem with our industry, although it's nice and flat up here. I'm thinking my vehicle construction area here, because if you watch the previous video, I was saying about a metro station coming out here to deliver the workers. So I think what we'll do is we'll push the rail line out through there. You through with a view to going. I mean, I suppose ideally what I would like to do is connect up with the rail line that would be coming out from here. We got that connection north. So I think that would be far enough at the moment. And question is, would I need a diamond junction here, or was it going to be sufficient to put in a single drop off? If far down, the bridge is there. What is? Oh no, that's what is that? Oh no, that's the tail end of the bridge. So if I come off here, is something like that, then we'll come in. If I come in like that, curve round like that, because that would leave space here. No, we'll try and bring it in a bit closer to the actual sewage treatment plant. So if I come around like that, connect there, this would leave enough space for another sewage treatment plant there, and then you can take this line around like that. When I've got, oops, thank you again. When I've got the space here to be quite extravagant with the way things are set up, and of course this is going to tell me that I can't put a crossover. Else I can get there. So that will give us the connection here to drop off our dispensing stuff there. We've got a barn in Dark Valley, that should be okay. So we've now got in our food distribution or local distribution system. We've got over here things, as far as I know, this is good. Now the next thing we're going to need to put into here is power. We've got a substation here, but we can't cover the whole map with a single substation. That would be pretty off the wall, to be honest. Now that is quite literally covering this entire area, which is good, but not that good. We got a substation here, so what we're going to need to do is put in another substation in about here. I think I'm going to use a modded one, which is only using as footpaths. Here we just think. Quick look. This one only connects down as far as there. So we might need two here. We need one to kind of overlap, and this one comes down to that building. And that building's a bit far out. So we're going to need one, possibly covering this side of the city. I think I'm just going to put one out there. And we're picked up with mud roads. A lot more important. And you can come in from here. You can go to there. Of course, it goes without saying I need to I'll forget all about the actual connections. Get that built in there. Then we'll pick up the one that I was talking about, the footpath. Where's the power substations? I'm gonna try and find one that you've got a footpath connection. That's good. And what to do is put you down into this area. For two, and what I'll do is I'll put this connection here. By putting it down right down in this corner, it gives me scope that should I want to add anything else in this area, we will have the power already there. So I'm going to build that there. You're going to connect there. And then what we'll do is come here. Now I'm going to do something a bit, I don't think we'll come off here and I want to come to there. It's going to be a pain. Okay, cancel that. I think what we're going to do is got 1.45 megawatts. We're going to actually go underground for this one. And that's okay. We're going to have to kind of connect it like that. What we've got here now, I mean, it's going to be a little bit wacky, but I think that will serve its purpose. And we've got this one here, which will cover this much. I think I would like to put in, say, another one on this corner because the city will expand outwards. So we're going to put one just on this corner there, and then we will run a high value that's nice and solid with respect to fire protection. And then what we're going to do is pick up from here. I'm going to go just down past this road, run you right along this road here, and then we'll just come in there, pick that up, connected, just make sure, and then again we'll just put the 3 crew on and the 4 crew. That will cover this area, and then we've got power here, which will effectively control, but it looks like it doesn't quite cover this area, but we've got cover from that side. But what I would like to do is have another substation just on this corner as well. Actually, we can put it this way. We'd run it off of there, but I don't think that'd be particularly useful. So just run there. Put you there. There. And we'll just put you there. And there. Or this one we'll put the 8 crew on it. So that now puts power in. We've now got water, which just needs to be built over the underground network. So now it's just a question of letting these guys do their job. Probably the best way to describe it. We are getting a reasonable out in here. I just want to check my farm. I can't really change anything, but let's see if we got any antiques in here. We got the E512s in here as well. I think this the E512s. Yeah, yeah. Let's just go south and see about the down here. New type of vehicle available. I think what the actual combines and stuff in this area are probably quite antiquated. See, yeah, we still got the People's War things here, and we've still got some very old tractors as well. I think maybe it's time that we modernized. I'm gonna get rid of you. Tell you well. Time to modernize our economy. Actually, we get rid of all these. I don't think they're really worth the. But now, and we'll just bring in. I'll probably sell these off and then find I can't buy my favorite. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 of those. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we got 1, 2. Buy another one. Now, it's not like we're short of money. Got my little quaint little farm here, which probably needs to be modernized as well. Of course, this is going to be a fairly big feature of the new update, is actually buying and upgrading vehicles and maintaining them. And talking about maintenance, the question is, say like you've got a farm like this, and well, maybe that's not the best example, but say you've got vehicles in here that need maintenance. Does that mean that what we're going to have to do is put a maintenance depot near this, or will vehicles go out and maintain the machinery in a farm? So that's another added complication with respect to building a farm in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just for example, this is it's just occurred to me actually. So say like for example we build this farm here. Now, does that mean that if you've got a major farm here full of trucks and other bits and pieces who are picking up lots and lots of crops, would you have to put a maintenance depot next to it? So that because there's as far as I can tell, maintenance works in 3 ways. You have a vehicle maintenance depot with slots where vehicles can go and get repaired. You've got an effect, well, if you put a maintenance depot next to a building that I'm assuming it will work with a farm. This is an assumption. And then what will happen is that the maintenance building will repair any vehicles inside of that the building that it influences on. I think it's mainly aimed at ships and aircraft, but it could also apply to farms. And then there's another one where there's actually maintenance vehicles that go out. Now, the one thing I'm not too sure about that is whether they will go out and repair a vehicle that's broken down. Or say, for example, you had a maintenance building over here, and then they would send out vehicles to repair the vehicles in a farm. That's something that they're not particularly that clear on at the moment. But that's something I will be testing when the update hits. I mean, the farm here is working quite effectively. We're getting lots of crops building up in here. I do wonder whether we could. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of more interested in ensuring that my clothing factory works than the fuel factory here. So anyway, while I've been talking, I just want to go down and see how well the cable car is working, because this is fairly important. No, it's still not. Components. I really want to do this, but I need that built. Need this end. Yeah. And there. I know it's going to pull the helicopters off from my main area, but I do want this finished, and we're on the 3rd of September already, so we're going to need to put a bit more emphasis on getting this finished. Make sure. Well, not sure why this was allocated. Not good. Waiting for mechanical components, electrical components. Okay. Back up to the north. So this town now is just a matter of waiting just to get built. You're right, allocated. Yeah, I mean this is allocated. Got a school here. We might set the what we call it, government loyalty. Set it at 55%. This is the secret police. We'll set these to 55%. The police station is ready to go. What have we got here? What's this? No idea what this is. This is actually a clinic. I think what we will do is buy 1, 2 ambulance. Get them into there. We can bring those in later on. We got here. It's the town hall. Town hall's not a great priority. Got a little pub here as allocated. Get the pub up and running. Here as well. Yeah, we've got a steel shortage at the moment, but I don't really want to import much more steel. How's the, and of course that leads back to the fact we got no coal. I think what I will do is that's full up, so we're gonna switch this on for a little while. Let this run, and let's just use up some of that coal to. Obviously, the power station is drawing coal, and also so we're kind of just let that run for a few minutes while we go and look at a few other things. Then we'll come back again. The other thing we think about resources, chemical. Where's that? Okay. What's going on here? We used up all our mechanical components. Okay. No workers. There's 40. Right. I think I need to remove this now, and so that we can start producing some mechanical components again, because I was pushing a lot of the workforce into here, but if this isn't going to be running at high efficiency, there's no point. We do need to get some workers into our... Where are you going? Okay, you're going to build a water substation. So we can start producing a few bits and pieces there. That's holding up. So while that's going, we're going to go over to here. And we got our... I want to check out a chemical factory here. bitumen. I don't think I'm actually exporting this. North Camp export. Let's just take a quick look at this. 50%. Okay, so we're actually making money from exporting chemicals from here. That's good. What we got here? Oh, we've got a technical office with nothing going on in it. So we do need to get some snow plows in here. Capacity, that's 21, that's 39. Okay, we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it's gonna be very important to keep this road open. Obviously my road crew has run out of jobs. Like these guys are a little bit more relaxed. No roads aside. Let me just see. Obviously they've got. I think what we will do is anything here. What's that? We'll get the university online, and the thank you again. Technical office needs to be built. You need to assist with that. How about the road structure here? That needs to be built. Same as the substation. That needs to be built. You're allocated. You're allocated. You're allocated. We've got the structure there. That's the okay. That as well. Okay, back to what we're going to be building over here. Now we've obviously got a lot of oil here. And we've got an oil tank here which is going to feed our system. Now this oil tank is going to need to feed both our fuel industry. We're going to make chemicals, and also we want to make plastic. Plastic is probably the easiest, and we get 6.8 tons of plastic, which we need to now work out the calculations. To make electronic components we need 1.8 tons of plastic and some chemicals, and this produces 3.2 tons of electrical components, which is then made by the electronics assembly plant, which is like that. So we're going to need, so to make the components which will then feed the electronics factory, we need 1.8 tons of plastics, plus the fact we're going to need plastics for our component factory. I must admit, I don't really like the in-game plastics factory. I mean, it produces 6.6 tons of. Need a 3 excavator, right? That's going to mess things up a bit, isn't it? Oh, right, because we need a 3 excavator out here. There's no point planning anything unless we can get the construction office. What we'll do is, can I put you somewhere so that you can cover this whole area? I'll build infrastructure. Oh, come on, gang. Okay, we can put it there. Put you there. Mud road there. Turn off the auto detect. I don't want it. And what we'll do is buy a couple of excavators. They're going to take a lifetime to get out here. So I think at the moment we're just going to have to wait for the excavators to get out here so we can level this. And I probably do need to look through the mods. Let me just have a quick look and see what we've got factory wise. Plastics factory. Sure, we've got a plastics factory in here. So we've got an electronics assembly hall here, which is not that big. Got plastic factories here, which will actually produce use 22 tons of chemicals and 77 tons of oil, produce 33 tons of plastic. My instinct is to have a couple of these so that we can, because the two working together here would produce 66 tons of plastic, which would probably more than enough to drive an electronics industry and supply the necessary plastic up to vehicle building. Because I mean, there's a very real chance I won't be able to do this, but if I was playing on with this map, I would probably be looking at, because we got bauxite down here and uranium there, but we've got bauxite there, so I'd be looking at possibly making an aircraft construction factory in this area. Plus we've got coal over there. I feel that I need to get more coal into the system. We got quite a lot of coal over here. Just kind of had a bit of a thought. Let me just see. Can we get a second coal mine up here? The 13%. It's sketchy. 13%. We could get another coal mine in this area. 20%. Problem's going to be if I put a second coal mine in this area. I mean, 20% isn't going to be much, to be honest, but it might make the difference if I can get 20% there. But to do that, we'd have to get a feed back to this center there. In fact, I'm just going to give it a go, guys. This is let's get here. Where was the 20%? It's got 21% there. If I reflip that and put you, can I get anything better than 21%? No. So we're looking at a coal mine about there. And if we hooked you to there, we're on the power grid. Then what we'd have to do is put in a conveyor. Come in really close like that. Actually, use a road there. Actually pull it out about that far. We're going to have to then somehow try and the connections there be tricky, because we'd have to come in from that direction. We've got another processing plant there though, haven't we? And this isn't being used. So what we could do is rework this. So if I remove you, demolish this building, yes, thank you. So rather than you having this, take that out there, remove you. Now this is connected into both of those. So if I put in a large, although a small one would probably be just as efficient. But no, we'll put a large one in just for It just makes it easier to connect to there. If I put that the other way, that will give me a direct connection. So then it means I don't have to do some elaborate connection there. Yeah, if I put that there, and I didn't really need to take this one apart either. So if I put the wire back in there, and then we put in a path there, got a road to nowhere here. Bring a road down to there. What I'm thinking is that if I can build in this infrastructure, because then what I could do then is this feeds into here. We could build this one, bring this coal mine online, and then because we got the output from this coal mine and this coal mine leading into this aggregate store, rather than using this one to process the ore, we can use this one. And then what that would do is process the output from both mines. And I think that will work. But of course, we don't need that just at the moment. That is long-term planning. But at the same time, it means that we should be able to get our helicopter road crew and our, if I can get the ordinary road crew on this. So get you working on these two roads here, so that we can get that connected. But I don't want to deflect from this area here. And this is coming together quite nicely on the 22nd of September. Wow, these guys are really powering through here. Just make sure that we've got no backlog, that the actual covered holes are keeping up with the process. Yep, this guy's, look at that. Wow. How many covered holes have we got? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and we got 7. So we got a spare one in here as well. So that'd be good. I mean, if we lose any crops here that are waiting to be harvested, I can always add another combine in next season and see how things go. It looks like that one's actually finished. That actually allocated. Let me just check. It's okay, good. Anyway, guys, I'm starting to run out of time with this video and I can't afford it to be too long. So I think generally everything's there. I just want to go down because we're now on the 26th of September. And right, this is actually connected. I don't want tourists there. I don't want workers there. What we're going to need, we're going to have to use light cable cars for this one because it's actually a route. So, where's it? We have to use these light ones. So they're only going to carry small amounts of people, but we don't need a vast amount of people. So what we're going to do is, I don't think there's a lot of difference between them, is it? They're all 4 passengers. So get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And of course, we're going to bring in our famous yellow monster. Here you again. Load. Very cool. And we're going to there, unload. And because this is a short route, I'm not going to worry about sending them back to the depot. And Where he goes. Where you go? Oh, you need fuel. Let's make sure he's going. We'll just keep an eye on him. So we got a kindergarten problem. You can always put a small kindergarten in. Yeah, it looks like we've actually might have a problem with a kindergarten. But look at this. We're just at matey. How many is he picking up? Wow, he's picked up all 8. One go. Okay, that's impressive. I'm starting to like this little yellow monster. So let him come and deliver. And then we can set this route up and we can get the workers traveling down. So let them drop off. There's 25. I'm gonna buy another. I think we're gonna buy some more. Buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it is a fairly long route. I want to see if these are actually dropping off people. Now, for the first winter, I'm not going to drop the buses because I want to make sure that we've got a regular supply of people coming in here. There we are. We've got someone walking in. Yeah, we're starting to get a regular supply of people coming in here now. I must admit, this series has made me a complete convert to cable cars. Up until I started doing this series, I kind of used cable cars, but I never saw them as something that was of, you can say, a lot of interest. But all right, you go back to the depot now. May need you again if the route doesn't work properly. Now the giveaway is the fact the number of cables that are actually sat in here. Waiting. See, there's nobody waiting now, but we're snatching people up as they come in. Yeah, I think that is working really. Should work. The test will be winter, and we're actually keeping a maximum workforce in there. Actually, let me just. I think that's working well enough to maybe make one change. Come here. We got 4 buses working on this route. Where it put this old Zeiss. You've got passengers on it. You've got 50 workers on it. You've got okay, let me just wait here. Because at the moment now we're sending out workers here that have no. Okay, what we're going to do is send you back to the depot. I don't want to have to these. He's got another 33 workers on here, but he's not going to let people off. Okay, you can depot as well. That kind of spaces this out a little bit. And I think that is working. I'm quite happy with that. The last thing I want to do is the 6 workers without a job. 6 workers, 3 workers can't work, so we've got a little bit of slack, and we've got a kindergarten there. Kindergarten there that's full. That one's not quite so full, so the loading is on this side here. Let's see if we can slip in a small kindergarten so that we can just make sure everybody is working. We could put the old nursery block in here, but got a little bit of slack over there. We could put it just about there. But that the actual cable cars will pass through it. Bit icky. I think what we can do is just tuck you in on this corner. Thank you, game. There. We'll put the. I mean, it's not urgent, so put the road crew on it. Both of them on. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play through as usual until about February. That will give it a chance to get, well, that means I can be able to report to you on the success of this is working. And more importantly, what it should do is bring this town closer to completion. So possibly in the next part, if we can get this up and functioning, we can then start thinking about moving people in, setting up the workforce that will go there, because we've got 2,000 people ready to move in. Then we can work on possibly getting these coal mines being a bit more efficient, but with a lot more workforce. We've got coal into here. That means the heating plant's ready to go. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.